Hi, I'm Reverend Anna, and I'm the Senior Minister of Unity of Austin. And I want to share some thoughts with you about breathing. In Exodus chapter 3, verse 14, we find that interaction, that famous interaction between Moses and God. And God said to Moses, I am who I am. And God said that because Moses was really putting some pressure on God to tell Moses God's name, because Moses was going to have to represent God to the people of Israel and convince them to trust God to get them out of enslavement. So Moses figured he needed a little bit more information. So again, Exodus 3, verse 14. Here's what God told Moses in response to Moses' pressure on God to give Moses God's name. God said to Moses, I am who I am. I'm the queen of multitasking. While that can be a good thing in some ways, it can also take its toll. Doing 4 things at once keeps me away from the deep enjoyment of being in the flow. It moves me away from that feeling of intrinsic interest and involvement in the task at hand. To counter my busyness tendency, I regularly remind myself to stop and breathe. The simple act of being conscious of my breath shifts my awareness to the bigger picture. I take a look around and the task or tasks at hand shrink to normal size. I pay attention to the life within me. I feel connected to spirit. I realize that I am not alone. And then I can begin again with a more relaxed focus. What makes noticing our breath such a powerful practice? We understand that it has a calming effect on our physiology, and yet there really is a deeper reason, a spiritual one. The author, J. David Muyskens, in his book, Sacred Breath, 40 Days of Centering Prayer, shares this reflection. He writes, this name of God, I am that I am, is written with 4 Hebrew consonants, AHYH. Speaking it, we might say, Aya. The verb begins with A, the first letter of the alphabet, which is a consonant in Hebrew, and the H is a H if you pronounce it. So when you pronounce the name God gave to Moses, you're making the sound of breathing. You draw in a breath, and you exhale, Yah, ah, Yah. When we breathe, friends, we're saying the name of God. It's the first name we utter when we emerge from the womb. As adults, we express that name of God 12 to 20 times a minute. That's our breath rate. And it is the final word that we voice when we're making our transition into our next experience. How beautiful that ancient wisdom recognizes the real nature of our human breath. It truly is the name of God. Breathe. God bless you. Thanks for joining me.